you got into not just radio, but your life as a man of God, a personality. Who is Shelton Hunter?
Well, was born in France. My father was on a military base. He was an army man, and we traveled a lot. And ended up in Newark, New Jersey. Grew up on the South Ward of Newark, Weequay section. It was rough,
Yeah.
and I thank God for it being rough because it taught me about me. It taught me about survival.
Yes.
And it taught me how to handle situations and circumstances. And it also let me know how smart I was, because you have to know where you are and who you are in this community.
That's true.
Yeah. And went to high school, was blessed to go to Irvington Tech High School, graduated. And after graduation, I knew that if I didn't do something drastic, that it was going to be curtains. I knew I was going to be in prison, or a drug addict somewhere, or somebody's institution.
Unfortunately, those were the statistics.
That's right. I didn't want to be a statistic.
Yeah.
I didn't, and I knew better. I knew I came from better. I went to the South. I educated myself, became a nurse,
Right.
and the thing about becoming a nurse, it was one of those things. I know it had to be God, because it's a funny story really quickly. I was working at a plant and got into a fight.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, I got into a fight, and the nurse said, "Why are you working here?" And so my brother got me the job. It was a good job. It was a very hard job, because it was a plant that made bricks. So it was hot, and it was in Georgia.
Oh my goodness.
And so I told her, I said I need a job. She sent me to Aiken, South Carolina. I went through the process. They funded everything. They gave me all the tools and all the finances I needed to be successful. All I had to do was just make the grade. So I went to nursing school, and I made the grade, and I passed the state test. And I was going to stay in Georgia. However, I decided to come back to New Jersey. When I came back to New Jersey, I started working as a nurse at Beth Israel Hospital, where I got my experience. And once I went to Beth Israel, I started branching out, because I felt like, now I know what I'm doing. Let me go make some money. Funny story. I was working in a facility, and there was two residents who were elderly, and I knew both families. And both residents happened to die on the same day, different times. And one family reacted one way, and another family reacted another way. So I was concerned about both families. One family was like, "Here, Shelton, you can have whatever you want. Here," and handing me money and all this kind of stuff, because of the care I gave their mother. Thank you, but my reward, I got my reward. They pay me every week. God blesses me. No, thank you. The other family was a little standoffish and a little irate, because they didn't realize that their medical benefits weren't set up, and there was an insurance policy that the facility took, because they didn't set up their medical insurance properly. Well, I didn't know anything about that aspect of healthcare, and when I saw what happened, it scared me, because I know I have a mother, and I know that I want her to be okay and take care of her the best of my ability. So I went back to school. I got my banking and insurance license.
Wow.
After about 20 years of nursing. And once I did that, and I found out about money and how money works and how insurance works, it was crazy, because I said, now, what am I going to do? Now, I have another career. What am I going to do? And how am I going to do this?
You have all this information.
All this information.
All this knowledge.
I want to either make money off it or make money off it. That was my mindset.
You want to make money off or make money off of it.
So I was going door to door and doing those things. And I didn't understand about people and competition, being in the insurance game, very cutthroat. And so I started working with some people, And it's very difficult to set up seminars because you have to get permission from here, you have to get permission from here. And so I didn't like the fact of me utilizing my resources to get seminars, and I wasn't reaping the benefits.
Right.
Everybody else was walking away with names, and I was walking away with great job, Shelton. And great job, Shelton doesn't feed the family. Well, I decided to go on a larger platform. I spoke to a friend of mine. He was a DJ on a radio show. I wanted to go to his church and do a seminar. And so he said, Shelton, go on the radio. I went on the radio. I met a young lady by the name of April L.A. She gave me a shot at the title. After the interview she gave me, she said, Shelton, have you ever done radio before? I said, no. She said, you're going to have a show, and only thing I need you to do is have a concept and a name. Wow. What am I supposed to do with something like that? What am I supposed to do with that? And I went back, and so I started doing the radio, and I thought, do it on finance.
Yeah.
Well, a lady called me one day. I was doing a live show, and she asked me if I was a millionaire. And I said, excuse me? She said, are you a millionaire? I said, no, ma'am, not yet. She said, well, why are you talking to people about money? And that was the thing that changed my whole perspective about doing what I was doing. So I said, you know, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to make it a platform for people, whoever wants to come on and whoever wants to talk about issues or situations, circumstances, or even their journey.
Absolutely.
Or, you know, their product or whatever. Then you got a platform. And so that was my concept. But
and welcome back. So Shelton.
Yes.
Tell us about this, more about your road at WBJL Radio.
Well, I am going back to the insurance. My mentor asked me a question, and he said, Shelton, would you buy insurance from an agent, or would you buy insurance from a specialist? And it didn't take me long to say, of course, a specialist, because a specialist specializes in what they do. And it was like, oh, it was an aha moment.
Like,
the light bulb went off.
I had a few of those.
Yes, and so I called April L.A. and I told her, I said, I want to be the specialist, and I want people on the show who specialize or who has a specialty in what they do.
Amen.
And that was, what, 6-7 years ago. I'm grateful.
It's because I came on the show when you were just starting.
Yes.
Not, well, a year or two
Yes.
in.
I was about a year or two in. Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
think you
and
had
that was
enjoyed
I was on another station, IB and Gospel, and that was a short run.
That's
and
that's an online radio.
Yes,
Online.
and April L.A. She was the general manager, and she said, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing, and I need some shows, and I need some people to support me. And so I told her, I said, listen, I'm a chief at home, but I could be a good Indian for anybody who I believe in,
Awesome.
and I believe in you. And I've been riding with her. It's been a beautiful ride. Like I said, 7 years now. And I want to thank you, Crystal, because you came on. I asked you to come on the show. You came and you did your show. And I was so impressed with you and our chemistry. I asked you to be a co-host.
Oh,
Yes.
it's on my resume because I had such a blast.
And
check that off my list.
Yes, we had such a good time. Such a good time.
We
I want
really
to
did.
thank you.
Yes.
And so I've been blessed to have a number of people on the show. Marvin Sapp. I've had Tamika Dixon. I've had Lee Rousson, a two-time Super Bowl MVP winner, the Super Bowl ring winner, and he was Player of the Year for the NFL Special Teams player. I've had preachers, teachers, entrepreneurs. I've had pastors, politicians. I've had actresses and
models,
it's just a wonderful thing. It is. It's truly a wonderful thing.
Platform that God has given us.
Yes.
you can speak to so many people
Yes.
about so many different things
Yes.
that a lot of people haven't heard half
right.
the journeys that they've been on.
That's right.
So it's a great platform to speak to people about what they do.
That's right.
And how God has blessed them, how God led them and guided them in that ministry or in that career purpose or path. And I think it's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. It's a great path.
Well, you know, we're blessed by our testimonies. Others
Yeah.
are blessed by your testimonies. And, you know, a lot of people have journeys that are blessings to people. However, sometimes if you've never written a book or if you've never put it out there, people actually can't benefit from it because they don't know.
Right.
So kudos to you and myself to giving people a platform to let folks know, you know, anybody can do anything they want to do.
That's
All you
right.
have to do is just believe and have a focus and have a purpose, have a game plan. The pieces will fall in place.
The only limit you have is yourself.
Yourself,
Hold it back.
well, we're the ones that limit ourselves because
We are.
God does not limit us. We can't put him in a box.
No, we can't. And you know, if we dream something, you have to have the faith that it's going to come, and it needs work.
Yes.
It's not, look, if you
Yeah.
say, I want a business, I want to be a millionaire, the idea is going to sit on that piece of paper.
It will.
It is not going to grow. It's not going to do anything until you start stepping out on faith and start writing things, your press
You gotta
kits,
put
your
it down.
business plans, and all these other things, and try to get grant money or whatever it is. Get your family and your friends together to help you. You know what I mean? And it takes a village.
It does.
You usually say that for raising children, but it's true for businesses.
Everything.
It's true for ministry.
Everything.
It's true for church life.
Everything.
It takes a village
It takes a village.
to get along.
You know, God won't give you the vision without provision. That's the first thing. And somebody told me that a long time ago. The second thing, from my perspective, is that when God gives you a vision or when he gives you an idea, it does not hurt to tell people, because even if they try to take it or steal it, guess what? God gave you your own.
That's right.
You know, God gave
And
it
no
to
man
you
can take
specifically, and
away.
they can't take it from you.
That's
So I urge anybody and everybody, if you have a goal, if you have a vision or dream, pursue it and tell people,
Absolutely.
because there are people out here, it's their job, it's their mission to help you. You know, and don't worry about folks trying to take what you got, because they can't.
They can't, because what God has for you is for you.
can't. You can't even give it
Can't
away.
nobody see it.
You can't
No.
even give it away.
That's right. Can't give it away.
Can't give it away. You can't.
Look, there
You
are
can't.
people that try to steal from you or try to copy your name or whatever. But look, if you got that idea, write it down, just like it says in Habakkuk. Write the vision, make it plain. Don't share it with anybody.
Yes.
Get it copywritten. Do what you have to do. Do your research. It's
That's
not
right.
just going to jump up and produce
It's not. It's not. You have
whatever.
to-
It's not going to produce fruit without the work
That's right.
and without
That's
the
right.
faith.
That's right.
So I encourage everybody out there who wants to be an entrepreneur, who wants to get into entertainment, like you said, who wants to write that book, and listen to these people that give their testimonies and
That's
how
right.
they how
That's
they
right.
struggled and
That's
how,
right.
how
And
they
the
got out of
failures.
that.
And the failures.
Yes.
I have to say this really quickly. One of my challenges being on the radio was having guests and people saying, "I'll come on your show," and folding or canceling and that kind of thing. And it used to put me in a position. It made me feel defeated. It made me want to quit. Really
Right.
quit. And I could fade into the sunset. And I did that. And so, and then I would be good. However, it taught me that you have faith in God. Don't put faith in
Man,
people.
that's right.
It's okay. People are going to show you if they're faithful or if they're loyal. However, if they're
They'll
not,
show you if they're faithful or fakeful. Put on bow. Yeah, I'm a jokester.
but it's the truth.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
People show.
And one of the things I implore to the listening audience and the viewing audience, is support local business.
Yes.
Support the people in your community. Support the things, people in your family that want to do these things.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't support them, who will?
Who will?
And then when you want their support, guess what? They're not going to support you. So, I mean, listen, it has to be an atmosphere of love. It has to be family.
Yes, it
You have
does.
to be family, and that's my sister here, so she put the brother down on the TV thing. So I truly appreciate you. I truly appreciate you.
No problem. I thought about you. Look, I made a list of everybody that wanted to come on the show. And God wasn't playing. When God downloads into me what he wants me to accomplish, I first thought is, what, me? And then the second thing is I didn't do anything, but when he gave me the go-ahead, I started writing everything out.
Yeah.
And then everyone that I asked to be on the show said yes.
Yeah.
Because
Praise
you
God.
know that's God.
That's all. That's
So,
what it
so
is.
as we lead into our next break, when we go back to our financial corner, you want to have mentorship.
Yes.
You want to have people that you can talk to about your business,
Yes.
that'll help you and guide you in the right direction. Take some free classes. There's a lot of free classes available in Newark, New Jersey, especially.
Yeah.
I'm a product of free
the bricks.
business class, the Brick City,
Yeah.
the bricks,
Yeah.
and all of the different classes that I
Oh,
had
my
over the
goodness.
past 8 years.
Yeah.
And it actually all started with Mayor Cory Booker, who helped me.
Yes.
He put me in my first class, and it was like a 3-month course.
Yeah.
And I met some great people. It was like 10 people, and they were all entrepreneurs. So that also inspired me
Yes.
to see the bankers coming and talking about money, just going to segue us into our financial corner. But we had the financial people from the bank come in and tell us how to write budgets and to do our financials for a business plan, and I got scared of numbers.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, it can be scary.
Weakness.
Yeah, it can be scary.
But I'm growing
That's right.
and I'm learning,
It's
and
a process.
from the failures and
Yes.
the setbacks,
Yeah.
we learned that what our weakness is now
That's
our
right.
strength.
That's right. That's right.
And that's how we can go into our next season of life, being successful and being,
Productive.
very productive in
Productive.
society.
We just wanna
We'll
be
be right back after these messages from our financial corner. Take it away, Juan Carlos. Yes, so getting back to financial planning. People want to retire. People want to know how to handle their money. So start there.
Well, leading up through my experience, I realized that I had to use my own 401k to help out. So I didn't take it as serious for retirement as I should have.
Right.
No one had, again, prepared me. I started off working with several financial companies, and I actually went through 4 of them. I learned as much as I could, and when I realized I couldn't learn any more, I just moved on and just learned more and kept learning. I wasn't making any money. Someone always said, do what you love first and service others, and then the money will come. So I kept thinking that, and I said, okay, I want to take care of the people. I want to make sure that I understand this as good or as perfect as I possibly can before I go out and I really start impacting their lives, their future, and their retirement. After I left the last company, I started my own company, and then I just went off on my own. And the premise or the idea or the goals is to help every single individual. My niche is my market: Latinos, minorities, people that really don't have the resources, the knowledge, or that go-to company that can help them. Many people are facing, no pensions. Corporations or companies are done with them. So less and less people can count on that additional stream of income. And with Social Security, they're stating that it's on the threat or the verge of insolvency.
Yeah.
There could be a problem there as well.
Big problem.
Yeah, and then now the national debt this year alone, and in the first third quarter, in the third quarter of the year, reaching national debt of over 26 trillion. So when you start thinking, great, that stimulus helps now, how do we pay that back? How do you get Social Security solvent again? Well, the only thing you can think of is taxes. So if you have to face taxes, lost income through pensions, and the potential of Social Security being gone, what can you do? So I took it upon myself to, learn as much as I could. I was still doing my mortgages, so that paid the bills. So I don't feel that I have to, earn that income yet. I was a student. I was learning, and then, once I launched it on my own, I've just been helping people establish retirement income through vehicles outside of Wall Street. You can build a lot of wealth in Wall Street, but you have to be careful. There are certain investments that run very risky, and we always tell people, look, if you start off at a very young age, you can get into those risky investments because they will, in time, pay huge, huge dividends. They will reward you very well. But as you get into your 50s and 60s, you got to kind of dial it back. You have to get into the more safer and stable investments.
Yeah.
So we help people kind of navigate through that. We try to help people establish tax-free income because, again, if we're going to be facing a tax increase, you need that money in retirement. You want to make sure that the money lasts and you won't outlive it. But what if it could also be tax-free? So that's a big bonus, and those are the things that we look into when we go to design. And everyone's different. Everyone has different goals. People always say that the standard responses when we speak to them, I want to travel the world, and I want to buy whatever I want to buy, and I want to go out 3 nights a week.
I want to travel the world with my camera. That's all
right.
I
I think that's a great goal to have.
Starting next year.
People want to also go out to eat, take care of their grandkids, spend more time with them, and never have to worry about going back to work, and never have to worry that a market correction can really alter or change their lifestyle once they're in retirement. So, we look at a lot of those things.
And welcome back to Real Talk. Okay, Shelton, what you want to tell us next?
Well, my journey with the Lord, of course, starts when I was young. Growing up in the church, my grandmother was a very, very, very influential evangelist. My grandfather, he was minister, and my mother, my father, everybody, my uncle, pastor, bishops, and cousins and everything. However, I really understood who God was and what God can do once I got into nursing. And I really didn't want to get into nursing per se, but I wanted a career. And I didn't know what career I wanted. However, God directed me to nursing, I believe, because of people. One of the challenges for me in nursing is dealing with people at their sickest, at their lowest, at their worst.
Right.
And you have to have a certain passive nature, a passive aggressive nature with people. And with the laws now, abuse laws, you really have to walk on like rice paper. However, prayer, I learned how to pray. I learned how to trust God. I learned how to believe in God. I learned how to ask God to direct me, tell God what I want. And do what I need to do to get where I have to go, because there's a price to pay. Anytime you ask God for something, He's willing to give it to you, no question. However, are you willing to pay the price to get what you ask for? Anybody can say, Lord, I need a car. Okay, you get a car, but you're going to have to work. You're going to have to do something to maintain the car. Because just getting something is one thing, but keeping it and maintaining it is something totally different.
It's the same thing with our career path.
Yes.
You got to ask for it.
Yes.
You write it down, write the vision down, make it plain, right?
Make it plain.
And what starts to happen, you see what I'm saying?
That journey.
You got to maintain it.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You got to a friend of mine used to say, you have to reinvent yourself.
All the time. All the time. And you can't question yourself. Other people are going to question you, but don't question yourself, because all it takes is 1 or 2 people just to pat you on the back. That's all. Well,
that's what I got yesterday from you. Thank you. He gave me a call out of the blue, and I'm like, well, Shelton's on the phone. I got 2 blessings yesterday.
Well, my mother tells me really quickly. My mother tells me, Shelton, don't break your arm patting yourself on the back, because a prophet is not honored in their own town.
Right.
So sometimes you have to motivate yourself.
Yes, you do.
And so I get sore shoulders all the time. I roll
Good
with
job,
it.
Crystal. Wait. Good job. I know it was a good job.
That's right.
Yeah, because sometimes I've been in situations where it wasn't a failure, but it was a disappointment.
That's right.
Or a couple of disappointments.
And you felt as though it was a disappointment, but it really wasn't. It was a learning. It was a learning experience.
You know what I do when I get defeated?
What's that?
I shut everything down, and I just binge watch TV. I'm serious. Eat a bowl of pasta. That's just my comfort.
Right,
okay.
Right.
And when I come out of that funk after a couple hours or overnight, after watching some movies, laughing.
Let's go.
You know.
Let's go.
Let's
put
go.
my hat back on.
That's right.
Dust
Start
my
grinding.
feet back
Start
off.
grinding. That's right.
And go in harder.
That's right.
And that's where the blessing is.
That's where the blessing is.
When you get tired and run down and ready to quit, that's where the blessing is. People don't quit.
Don't
Do
quit.
not
Don't
throw
quit.
in the towel.
Don't quit.
Do not quit.
Don't
Do
quit.
not give up.
Don't quit.
Do not end the game.
Don't.
Do not do any of that.
And you know what else? Stop looking at yourself and start supporting somebody else.
Absolutely.
Start
The
when
more
you
you
go
give-
through when you go through me personally, when I go through situations like that, and when I know I'm going through, I'm reaching out to other folks, trying to bless them, however I can, a kind word,
That's true.
whatever.
It takes the
And
focus off ourselves.
yeah.
And another thing Shanae Henderson said when she was on the show the other day, I said, what do you do when you get in that situation? She said, worship.
Yes, you got to praise them.
You just
You gotta praise
turn
him.
on their whatever favorite
right.
song. I
You
start
gotta
turning my
praise him.
Kirk Franklin
You gotta
or
praise him.
all of those amazing
You gotta
singers.
give him
Turn
glory.
that.
You gotta give him glory.
And I just start
That's right.
praising God
You gotta
around the
give him
house,
glory. You gotta
dancing,
give him glory.
singing, raising my hands, giving thanks and honor
right.
to Him. And guess what? I think I told you this earlier. When you called me yesterday, I was on the phone with a friend, and he had just like spoken into me and prophesied, and this was a friend of mine who got me saved. Actually, he asked me to
God.
church
Praise
when I was
God.
23 or 24, and I was like, "Yeah, let's go to church."
Yeah.
But it's a baptismal service. Let's go.
Let's go.
You know,
Let's go.
and my whole life changed. But he had poured into me, and then you called and poured into me,
Praise
and
God.
I was feeling some kind of way that morning. I was feeling defeated.
See that?
I was overwhelmed with paperwork and stuff and documents to type, and I was just I do photography. I got to do this magazine. So much to do, right? And I said, wait a minute. Y'all called. It was over. But after I spoke to you guys, I was back on track.
Well, you're Wonder Woman. You're Wonder Woman. You have so many talents. You have so many. This lady right here, I'm telling you. And let me say this really quickly. If anybody out there wants to get into media, business, if you name it, Crystal can direct you. And so I'm just honored, privileged to have this opportunity. This is something that I really never aspired to do. However, just having this opportunity, Crystal, it's cool. It's cool.
And as you just said that, we want to be a show where people can call in
Yes.
and ask for prayer.
Yeah.
We're going to have a hotline number coming soon, a prayer line. So when the show starts to broadcast, let's say we broadcast at 6 p.m. At 6:30 when the show goes off, that
Prayer.
line is open.
Prayer. That's right.
For an hour.
That's right.
If they just want to call to talk about how to start their business,
Yeah.
call.
Informational line.
It's mainly for prayer. Yes, and information. So I thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love you so much.
I love
Tell
you
your
back.
lovely wife hello.
Yeah,
Tell
will do.
April LA, give a hug and a squeeze for me.
WBJL Radio.
Why?
WBJL stands for why? Because Jesus Lives Radio.com. WBJL Radio.com. And it's the specialist show every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And we rebroadcast on Sundays from 3 to 5. So, and if you want to come on, give me a call. You can reach me at my name, Shelton Hunter 2006 at yahoo.com.
And you're also on Facebook.
Facebook,
Are you on
Facebook,
Instagram as well?
Instagram,
Yeah.
LinkedIn, all those
He's
kind
all
of things.
over the place.
I'm all over the place.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you
Truly
want to be
blessed.
on here, just
Yeah, you already know, real talk.
hit me up.
Y'all better hit up. Y'all can
And,
stay.
you know-
Y'all can
you
be
know-
behind.
and you know
You
what?
can be behind the desk
We're
with a mic
we're
on.
looking for young people. We're looking
Yes.
for people to
Yes.
intern with us. So if you want to be a photographer, if you want to be a production assistant, makeup artist, hairstylist, wardrobe assistant, stylist,
You hear it all. Come
personal
on, keep on,
assistant,
keep on.
a cinematographer, editor.
Movies, dancing,
Sound.
the whole. This is the
If you
lady
want
to
to be in
see.
media, contact us and we'll help you out. Come
Yeah.
on down and meet with us.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching. It's been a joy and
Truly
a
a
pleasure
pleasure.
to sit here with my friend, my brother, Shelton Hunter.
Thank you so much.
And again, we love having you here. You're going to come back, right?
Listen, just let me know what you need me to do, and it's
He'll be
already
back.
done. It's already done. It's already
In
done.
Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Take care, everyone.
All right.